Hey, this is Ross with Ross Hog Smokers. So I got the trailer in from paint and I'm finishing up the wiring. So I've got my wires run through the conduit and now I'm just protecting the ends. I'm adding a cable loom to it and taping it up real good. That way it doesn't get wore off whenever, or get wear through whenever it's rubbing on the trailer. Just tape it up real good, make sure the loom doesn't fall off, and this will allow me to tie it into the junction box. And here's the wiring diagram, and I checked what my truck says, and it is exactly like this wiring diagram. So I'm going to follow the color coordination on this, and I'm going to start putting these ring clamps on and connecting it to the post. And then whenever I get all the wires connected, I'll use some self-tapping screws and mount it to the bottom of the bar. So I'll get started. So I have to ground the wires to the trailer, that way the lights work. So I'm going to use this screw here where I have my bracket holding my conduit. I'm going to grind or wire wheel some of the paint off so I get a good ground connection, and I'll attach my wire, that white wire, to it with a ring clamp, and that'll give me a good ground. I'll have the ring clamp right up against the bare metal and make the trailer lights work. So here I'm just mocking up, making sure that I have enough wire length. I don't want a bunch of extra. I left the white wire out, that way it's easier to replace. The ground tends to corrode over time. It's exposed to the elements, so it's a good idea to have easy access to it in case you need to replace it. It's one reason why I like the junction box. It's take the junction box off, take the nut off the inside, off the post on the inside, replace the wire, and you're on your way. You don't have to redo all the wiring and pull it out of the conduit and fish it back through. Alright folks, it's Ross with Ross Hog Smokers. We're back on this trailer. I got the junction box wired up last night. Y'all saw that. And now we're going to work on getting the reverse light hooked up on the gate. So I'm going to pull the trailer forward just a little bit, and I'll set you up so you can see that. And we'll get that wired in, and then I believe we'll be ready to set the boards on. So this is the light strip, and I'm going to attach it with these adapters that they gave me. I'm going to stick it on first. I'm going to use these adapters and attach it, that way it doesn't go anywhere. I'm pretty impressed with this light strip. I have one on my truck. The reverse light's decent. There's definitely better quality ones out there, but for what I want to use it for, I think this is going to work good. I'm going to line this up. Alright, that's on there good. This should be interesting. These are Phillips head tap screws, self-tapping screws. I don't know about y'all, but Phillips head, much rather use a Torx. That's an 8-foot trailer, and it is exactly 8 feet. I don't know, I took for granted that the boards would fit in there the way they are. But I'm going to cut them at 95.5. Alright, so measure twice, cut once. I don't want to cut it twice and it still be too short. Yes, that's a bad joke. As I was picking boards out for the trailer, I wanted to make sure that I got boards that were straight and boards with minimal knots in it. Finding straight boards at a big box store, well, that can be a little challenging, but I was able to find what I needed. Also, when I was laying out the boards on the trailer, any boards that had a pretty substantial knot on the side, I wanted to make sure that was on the edges. That way it would be supported by the angle iron that runs the perimeter of the trailer. I noticed when I removed the old boards that those boards with knots in them on the side, they were really weak and flimsy. What I'm using is a Torx drive trailer floor board deck screw, and it's a T40 bit, so that's a Torx bit. And what you do is you drill a pilot hole, a 9/32 pilot hole. It goes through the wood and the metal. And then you come back and you put this screw in. Now these are 3-inch screws, so they're going to be way longer than I need. But they were cheaper on Amazon, and it's not a big deal that it's longer. But what happens is, if I can try to zoom in on this so you can see it, but what happens is, these are cutting threads. So you drill that 9/32 hole, it's tapered. This screw is tapered. I'm going to try to point it out right here. So it's tapered, so it starts right here and goes down to a taper, and that 9/32 hole allows this to bite, and then it actually cuts the threads into the steel, and that's what holds it in place. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And keep an eye out for part 4. I'll be welding on the piece of metal at the back of the trailer and going over some welding tips, as well as finishing installing the tail lights.